Okay, in this video we're going to be looking at how to add and subtract fractions when they have different denominators, unlike denominators. The key part here is the different denominators, because as you can see, if we've got a fraction like 3/8 over plus 2/8, then all you have to do is add the 3 and the 2. It's as easy as that. If you can add 2 plus 3, then you can do this question. So what happens when we get two fractions where the bottom numbers are different, like 2/8 plus 3/12? So what we're going to have to do is to make our fractions so that the bottom numbers, the denominators, are the same. We just have to figure out what are those going to be. So to figure this out, we're going to look at something called the LCM. That's the least common multiple. The least common multiple of these two numbers, 8 and 12. That's the number that's going to go at the bottom of the two fractions. So to do this, I'm going to write a list of all the multiples of those two numbers. The first multiple of 8 is 8, and from then on it's just the times tables for 8. Doing the same thing for 12, we'll stop here because we can see, look, we've got 24 is the first number to appear in both of these lists. That means 24 is your least common multiple, and the fractions both going to be over 24. So what's the top number going to be? Well, we're finding an equivalent fraction for 2/8. So what we do to the bottom, we have to do to the top. So how did we get from 8 to 24? Well, we times it by 3. So we're going to do the same thing to the top. 2 times 3 is going to give us 6/24. That's an equivalent fraction for 2/8. We'll repeat this for 3/12. What did we do to the 12 to get us to 24? So looking at our multiples list, we can see we multiplied 12 by 2, and that's going to give us the bottom number of 24 and the top number of 6. So now we're adding a pair of fractions, just like we did with the first question, where the denominator is the same, and that makes it easy. 12/24, which simplifies just to a half. So when it comes to subtracting, it's exactly the same thing, except it's a subtraction. So we need two new fractions where the bottom number is the same, and that bottom number is going to be our least common multiple. So here's my multiple list of 10, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. We'll do the same thing for 8, and we'll see that our common multiple here is 40. So we're going to put 40 on the bottom of these two fractions. Now what did I do to 10 to get to 40? I multiplied it by 4. So I'll do the same thing to 3, and that's going to give us 12 on top. What did we do to 8? We multiplied it by 5. So multiplying 2 by 5 gives us 10/40. So here we have the two equivalent fractions, and because the denominator is the same, because the denominators are alike, we can just do that subtraction of 12 minus 10. So 2/40, which simplifies to 1/20, is our answer.